We are live. Hi guys, Matt Lemke here with Your Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com, and we are at Gen Con 2019 at the Para Bellum booth with Leo. And
hey guys.
I have to apologize in advance. I tried reading the rules before I got here, but I didn't. So I know little to nothing about the game other than the fact that they've got out of this world miniatures.
Well, that's fine. I'll help you. I'll help you with the rules. So, Conquest is our mass battle fantasy war game. This is the giant. This is a Jotnar from the Jotnar from the Nords. This is the fourth faction that it's going to be coming out in about October.
So what are they made out of?
This one is a prototype.
Okay,
so this is a 3D printed prototype, like to show people.
This is 3D printed.
Yeah.
Okay.
But our miniature are full plastic, so it's going to be hard plastic, just for you to get a feel, get an idea of what the height is and your overall volume.
He's nice.
I know, and what I did is that I cut off the wrist and I rotated it, so in the base I have a tree that he's bending like to the side to pass through.
Okay.
So like you can do a lot of stuff, and the arms are going to be ball joints, so there's a lot of posability there.
Nice. Thank you.
So a little bit about the game. So mass battle fantasy war game, right? There are two important, important rules in the game. One is that we don't have phases, but what we do is that every unit you have on the table or in play has a command card that comes with it.
Okay.
Right? So at the beginning of the turn, before we start playing, we take our cards and we arrange them into a command deck. Right? So the card that is on top gets to activate first. So you choose the order of activation beforehand. You'll draw the first card, you take 2 actions with that regiment, and then it's my turn. So you go, I go. This is a fog of war sort of thing. The other thing is that there's no deployment. So you have light, medium, and heavy units. The light units come in first. They are there to fight off enemy skirmishers, contest objectives, and push up a reinforcement line, which is like think of a line of scrimmage almost, and the rest of your army can come in from the sides. So the more the game progresses, you can bring in your medium or heavy unit. So there's an escalation factor to that.
Oh. Okay. Well, we're going to try and do a demo too. So, how do you build your armies?
So there's a point system involved. So regularly you purchase, you pay the points, and you build your army. The important thing is that what you do is that you start by selecting a character. So you purchase a character in points, right? That character unlocks 4 regiments. That will be this character's warband.
Okay.
So every character has mainstay and restricted units. These have to do with how available they are to that character in the lore. And so, for example, if you want to have one restricted, first of all, you need to have one mainstay. But if you want to have a restricted, you need to have one mainstay. If you want to have, let's say, a second restricted, you also need to have a second mainstay, so on, up to 4. So you can have, let's say, 4 mainstay, or 2 restricted and 2 mainstay, or any combination, right? So, and after you're done with that, after you select 4 regiments, you can move on to the next character and purchase the next character and fill up their warband and so on. So that's pretty much. So you think of an army list being a group of smaller lists that come together by a warlord, which is the character that kind of like commands everyone else.
And do the different factions have like different flavors, different special like traits that they do? Like, is one a fast mobile army?
Yeah. So a big thing with Conquest is like I said, like the more you go, the more the game progresses, the game escalates. One of the things is that, for example, the Nords have a lot more hard-hitting light units, which are great during the early game. They can hit really hard, and but the problem is that the light units do not contest objectives, so they have to rely on their mediums. So they have to end the game fast before the enemy heavies come in. Whereas the Dwegum, right, they're more slow. They have a slower build-up, right? They don't have as many choices when it comes to the light units, but they thrive during the later game. So so the different flavors really show as the game progresses.
And so you've got product available.
Yes.
It looks like is this a regular starter or a 2-player starter?
This is a 2-player starter. This is a 2-player starter. It has over 70 miniatures in there. I'll show you. So it has like it's about 850 points per side. So we're talking about 24 men-at-arms, 12 crossbowmen, 3 knights, a character, the monster, the abomination, 24 drones, 3 brood drones, another character. Thematic basis in there, cards, rulebook, dice, everything. That will be for $85.
And this is what you're demoing with?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So we're gonna see it next. We're demoing with this box, and now having the new expansions, the Steel Legion and the Marksman clones, we threw them that into the demo as well.
Okay. And so that's all available here.
That's right.
And what is coming out in the near future?
So right now, the new stuff we brought out is the Marksman clones of the Steel Legion. We have a lot of characters coming out for the 100 Kingdoms and the Spires. And September, we're looking at the Dwagom.
Oh.
So third faction. That's the Dwagom. Actually, the guys like coming out of this keep. Yeah.
Okay. So I've got a photo of that, guys.
Yeah.
What else you want to add? What else do you want to add?
Well, come over, play the game, try it out. We'll be more than happy to give you a demo. And we want people to play the game and have fun.
Are you going to Adepticon next spring?
Yes, and actually Adepticon is going to be the first event that we're going to be doing a tournament. So
very good.
So we're going to be seeing everyone there.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. We'll do a demo in a couple of minutes. They're pretty packed. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Well, first of all, thank you for coming, though, to play the game.
You're welcome.
So okay, start off. Now, you're playing with the Spires. So this is our, actually this is pretty much everything that the Star set has in, except for the Marksman clones and the Steel Legion. That these are, for the first time, we're selling in Gen Con. So these are new releases, ready to like bolster a little bit your armies. Okay, so now a couple of things. When we start a game of Conquest, nothing actually starts on the table. But for the sake of the demo, we assume that it's on the 4th or 5th turn at this point. That's why we already have a few forces, and that's why we already have stuff on the table. Now, before we begin, let me tell you that my goal for this demo is to kill the Abomination, and your objective is to keep it alive for 3 turns.
Oh, okay.
Right, so what I'd like you to do, I would like you to pick up your command cards. Keep in mind that you take the cards of the brutes as well, but keep in mind that they're in reserves. We're gonna get over that whenever it comes up. Okay, so what I'd like you to do, I would like you to make a deck with these cards, a face-down deck that you arrange the order, and essentially the card on top is the one that activates first. Alright, so we're gonna roll off to see who goes first. Now in this game, low is good, so we're gonna do that for low as well, before rolling off as well. So 3 and a 3, rolling again. Alright. A 6 and a 6. What's going on? A 6 and a 3. Actually, to be very honest with you, I would be very, very intrigued if you rolled a 6 again. Would we go? No. 1 and a okay. Well, it broke the chain.
I broke them all.
Yeah. All right. So I'll go ahead. You rolled the Abomination.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's a move of 10.
All right. So since you drew the card, and what happens is that you get to activate that regiment, in this case Abomination, and you get to take 2 actions with it. An action is, let's say, to move, to charge, to shoot, to aim, right? And you can move, let's say, and move again as a second action, right? But the only action you can do twice is move.
Okay.
So before I get to tell you the specifics, tell me what it is you want to do, and I'll help you out. Keep in mind that the Steel Legion are pretty good at taking this thing down.
Oh.
The Men-at-Arms are mainstay units. They can hold the ground, but they're not too much. They're a moderate threat. These guys have armor-piercing shooting. So what would you like to do?
Well,
whatever you charge, you're gonna do damage to it.
I think I charge them now, because I wasn't originally going to charge them, but if they kill this guy, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the game is pretty brutal in the way it plays. So if you charge them, you can do a lot of damage and perhaps even kill them, but you're taking a risk. So it's always, these guys are a good choice. All right. So what I'd like you to do, there's pre-measurement first of all. So you can measure the closest point between the two regiments, and that should be a little over 11.
Oh, well then he can't charge that.
No, actually, what happens is that you roll a d6, and you add it to your march characteristic. That's a 5. Yeah. Even if you roll the 1, you would still be able to make it, right? So you simply take the Abomination and bring it to contact. Now we have to make sure that the stands are flush. So we try to put them corner to corner whenever we can. Now, Our goal is to keep as many stands engaged as possible. An engaged stand is a stand that is in contact with an enemy stand, even if that's corner to corner. Right, so a few rules to go over now. So as a first action, you charge. Charge is the only action that brings you in contact with an enemy regiment, right? So as a second action, I would assume that you want to attack me.
Yes.
That would be unfortunate. I was hoping you would go back again and try to withdraw, but that's probably not going to be the case.
No, that's
yeah.
not the case.
All right. So before we move to the attack phase, exactly because you are a monster, right? The sheer size of the monster and the impact causes impact attacks. So anything that is larger than a man causes impact attacks. Now you have a characteristic that stands for attacks. That's 10. Half of that is impact. So, so you take 5 attacks, 5 dice, and you'll see you have the C characteristic on your card. That stands for clash.
Okay.
All right. So you want to roll equal or less than that. So 1s and 2s.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not
So
very
2.
good at low.
Well, that's fine because you're going to be doing a lot more attacks next action, so that's fine. Now you have 1 hit. I have to roll for defense. I have a defense of 1. These guys are pretty lightly armored, so only 1s. And that's 1 guy out. Now, in this game, units do not run away, but individual soldiers will. So that means that every time I take a wound in close combat, I have to roll a resolve test to see if someone else is going to run away. So I have a resolve of 2. I need to roll equal to or less. The thing is that you have terrifying 1. So that reduces my resolve by 1. So only 1s. That's a 3. 1 more runs away. Now notice how I have to remove complete stands before I move to another stand. All right. So now it's the rest of your attack. So that's 10 attacks total. You have a clash of 2. You successfully charge, so you get a +1 inspiration bonus to your clash. So clash of 3. 1, 2s, and 3s. Help you out. All right, that's pretty good.
That was good.
And what's even better is that you have the flurry special rule, so you get to re-roll. Miss it. That's 1 more. All right. All right. Now the bad news for me is that, like I said, I have a defense of 1, right? You have cleave 1, and that reduces my defense by 1.
So you have 0.
So exactly. So that's was that 9?
9.
9 guys are out. So 2, 6, and 3 more. And 9 resolve tests.
Yeah, I think somebody's going to run away.
Someone I would have gone too. I wouldn't have stayed. I played once a demo that actually this thing happened. So that wasn't a fun time for the player I was playing with. All right. So that was a very good turn. That was your two first actions. Now it's my turn to draw a card. The Men at Arms. All right, so I'm gonna try and retaliate to whatever extent I can at this point. So the first thing I want to charge you. So I wanna see if you are within line of sight, and I am extending my front arc, my 45-degree front arc. You are within my front arc, so that means I can see you and I can charge you. If I measure, I'll see that I'm within 3 inches, right? So even if I roll a 1, I can still make it. So the first thing I do is that I take a free will and I engage with as many stands as I can. In this case,
probably all 3.
That's right. That's right. That's all 3. There we go. And let me bring the other guys here as well. So that's successful charge. Now it's time for attacks. Right. So I want to figure out how many attacks I have. Let me have the card in front of you. So you see, I have an attack characteristic of 1. Right. Now that means I get 1 attack per guy. However, I get 1 attack per miniature per engaged stand. The stands that are engaged are the stands that are in contact with an enemy stand. So the first 3 stands are engaged, right? So that's 12 attacks. The stands on the back are not directly in contact with an enemy stand, so they're unengaged, and they are supporting with 1 attack per stand. So that's 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's see. So I got 5 here, 10, 14, and can I have 1 more, please? And I take 1 more. All right. So now I have a clash of 2. I charge successfully, so I get an inspiration bonus of +1. So I go up to clash of 3. So that's 3s and under. Let's see. That is 2, 4, 8. That's a pretty good roll. 10. I'm happy with that. So
That's pretty good.
yeah. So that's 10 hits. You take 10 defense rolls. Defense is the stat you're gonna see here. That's a 3. So you need 3s and under. So I see 5. 5? Yeah.
5.
All right. So let's mark it here, and I will need you to take 5 resolve tests. You have a resolve of 4. So that's 1 more. That's pretty good. All right. Now, a thing about this game is that the game really is about the trades. So throughout the game, you're gonna see that you lose units, but of course, the attacker always has this advantage. It's always hard hitting. All right. So that was my first 2 actions. My 2 actions. So that's your turn. Force grown drones. All right. So these are these guys right there. Now these guys are mainstay, like a light mainstay troop. They're there pretty much to hold the enemy off until something stronger comes from the side. The way you played it right now is actually quite good because my stronger unit is out of reach of your abomination, right? So
They can probably make it.
So yeah, you can pre-measure. You're holding. So that's 9. You have a march of 5. So that means if you want to charge, you need to roll a 4 and up. Oh, he's going for it. That's a 4. No problem. No worries. All right. So keep in mind this: you have to move the shortest distance in order to engage as many stands as possible. The shortest distance means that this stand would come here. So they will be offset. It doesn't matter how far you move with, as long as you make this distance, you're good. But the shortest distance will mean that this guy will come here. Still, everybody's engaged because they're corner to corner. A nice little thing that we did is that you'll notice we have the round bases in the square stance, and that's because when they do not rank up properly, you can always rotate the miniature and they will always fit. So that's a little quality of life thing we did there. I mean, we all like regimental combat, but one of the biggest problems is that to solve the jigsaw puzzle of everybody like ranking up properly. All right, so that was pretty good. That was your first action to charge, and now you get to attack, right? So you have. Let me give you some more dice. Sorry, I took them all. So
15, right?
15. However, you'll notice you have the support special roll. That means that your unengaged stand supports with 2 attacks per stand. So that will be 12, 14, 16, 18. So that's 18 attacks. You have a clash of 1. You get a +1 inspiration bonus, so you go up to a clash of 2, 1s and 2s. Let's see. That's good. I see 3 and another 3 there. Oh, you got 1 more there. 1 more here. That's good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Now I have a defense of 3, so again, 3s and under. Let's see. That is 4 out. Yeah, 4 out. So 4 guys are out. That's pretty good. All right. And I get 4 resolve tests. I have a resolve of 3. 3s and under. 2 more guys are out.
Okay. Well, I got it.
It's pretty good. Now, what's important, if I had lost 2 more guys, I would have lost, a second stand. That would mean that I would have lost half of my stands within a single turn. If I lose half of my stands, that means the regiment is broken. And next time I activate that regiment, I would have to spend an action to rally. So they don't run away, it's just I lose an action. If you're broken and then broken again, everybody gets shattered, they all run away. All right. So that will be my next activation will be the Steel Legion. Thankfully, I'm not broken, but they want to get back at them. So now, since I'm already engaged, right, I cannot attack twice. Of course, I could try to run away or change formation, but I want to get stuck in. I want to fight as hard as I can. As a first action, I can inspire, right? Inspire means I get the +1 clash bonus like I would from the charge. The difference is that I don't get any charge specific bonuses, right? For example, I wouldn't be able to impact if I inspire. So I only get the +1 clash. So as a first action, I'm gonna inspire, and as a second action, I'm gonna attack you. So I have 6 guys, so that's 6 attacks. I have a clash of 3, and my inspiration bonus gives me a +1, so that's a clash of 4. So 4's and under. That is 4. Now, you have a defense of 1. You get 1 +1 from your shield. That's because I'm hitting you from the front. That it means defense of 2. However, I have a cleave of 2, so I reduce your defense by 2. So that's 0. So 4 guys will be gone. And 4 resolve tests, please. You have a resolve of 1. You get a +1 because you have a large regiment, so that's resolve 2. That will be 1 more stand.
That'll be 1 more stand, yeah.
Oh man, that was a good hit. I know, right? That was a good hit.
Hit for you, yeah.
All right. So that will be now will be your turn.
Memory serves, right?
Marksman clones, that's right.
28-inch range.
Now the good news is that you can shoot in combat.
Well, I think you're gonna shoot there.
Unfortunately for me. Just kidding. No, they can't. No, just kidding. Unfortunately, they can't. I'm not gonna avoid this. I'm gonna take the hit. What can you do?
So they all get to shoot, so that's...
All right, so a few things. Now, you'll notice you have the special rules. It says bars 2.
Right.
That means 2 shots per archer. So that will be 24 shots.
Oh, wow.
The other thing it says 28 inches, right? That's the maximum range, though, not the effective range. So effective range is half that. So 14 inches would be the effective range. You measure from the stand, not the miniature. So these guys are in. You measure from every stand.
So I should. Yeah.
Oh no, you're in. You're closest point of every stand.
Yeah.
So you're in. Perfect. Right. So it is possible for one stand to be within effective range and another stand to be within long range. The difference is that when you're shooting within effective range, you're shooting all of your shots. I believe all of the dice here are 24. So we'll take it.
Okay.
And the one there. Okay. So when you're shooting within effective range, you shoot all of your shots. If you're firing over that, you're only shooting with. Get one more here. You are firing half shots. So it's 24 inches and 24 shots, and I'm assuming, of course, you're going to take a first action to aim, which will make you even more accurate.
Okay.
So that's your volley of 2 goes up to a volley of 3. 24 shots on 1, 2s, and 3s. That's a lot of 4s and 5s and 6s. Isn't it a little weird how like you see this roll and you're like, how many 6s could I roll? And
actually, it's about a 50%.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Not so bad.
All right. Now there are a couple of bad news for me. One is that I'm getting hit on the side.
And no shield for you.
And no shield for me. That's right, because shield is a bonus I only take when I'm getting hit from the front. Right. So I have a defense of 2, flat. No bonuses there. All right. So that is these guys are good. So 6 guys out.
All right, yeah, because I don't have to move. So yeah.
There you go. Now the good news for me is that I do not take resolve tests from shooting attacks. I only take resolve tests from close combat, right? So that's good, because actually when you get it, if you're getting hit from the side, you would have to re-roll successful resolve tests. So that's a good thing. I don't take resolve tests in this case, right? So now my next card would be the Marksman clones, the Mercenary Closeman. I wish I had Marksman clones, but right now, but I will have to discard them. This was a pretty good choice for you to charge because they have armor-piercing shooting, so they would actually do quite a little bit of damage there. Right, so I discard the card and I draw my next card.
Oh, okay.
So the Houseful Knights. Now,
That could be bad for me.
the good news is that I cannot charge the turn I come into the table.
Oh, okay.
Right, so that's good. Now, the reinforcements is the last important rule, and actually one of the important parts of the game. Because like we said, nothing actually starts on the table at the beginning of the game, right? Everything comes in from reinforcements. So what we do, usually, actually it's at the beginning of the turn, but now we just leave it for whenever it comes up. We want to determine where our reinforcement line is. So I want to check which one is my foremost regiment, and by foremost, I mean the one that has moved the closest to your table edge. In this case, actually that's the Steel Legion because their back is further up.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I draw a line parallel to my own table edge, right? And I want to check if any of your regiments has crossed that line. And actually, the Abomination's edge there is clipping that line. So I would have to disregard the Steel Legion and move on to the next unit. That's men at arms. So their rearmost point is here. I draw my line, and that means that I can bring my knights onto the table. I can walk them in from my side of the table, or I can walk them onto the table as if they were just here waiting.
The big guy in the middle is on the table.
So it's like a little bit like you walk them to the table, you can bring them from the sides up to that line, right? Now in this case, I don't really need to bring them here. What I'm hoping for is a charge next turn. So I'm gonna just bring them here. I need a march order to move them, and of course you can move and move again if you want. So I'll move twice and come here. Keep in mind that you can move and charge through your own regiments.
Okay.
So that's an important thing. All right, so I will move my knights right here, and that will be your next card. That's the Brood Drones. That's right.
So they come in with this parallel line?
Right. So your foremost would be the Abomination, but I'm clipping that line.
Right.
So the next one would be the First-Grown Drones. You can bring them. We can bring them from the back. You can bring them. You can walk them in from here. What would you like to do? And I'll help you go with it. Good. They have march of 6, and you can go essentially 12. That's enough actually to bring them about here, to bring them in front of the archers. Don't worry about the archers. They have arcing fire, so they can fire over the brutes.
Right. Okay.
Oh, that's good too, because you can come in like this and charge next turn.
Yeah.
All right. So let me help you out there. Perfect. Now you can move freely through your own troops as long as you don't end up overlapping them. And you can charge through them as well. The problem is that if you fail a charge and you end up overlapping with a friendly unit, both units end up broken. So that could be very risky. Most of the times, if you move properly, you're not going to have a problem. But there's always that risk, that this might happen. All right, so we're done. I will put my mercenary crosserman to the side, and so we're gonna make our decks again. All right. So I'm ready. All right. So let's see. Roll off. Low's good. That's a 1. That's a 3. And I get to go first with my men at arms.
Okay.
I will inspire as a first action and attack as a second. So that will be 12.
He might die.
12. And I only have 2 stands supporting, so 2 attacks. Hopefully, because if the opponent doesn't die, then I'm gonna have a really bad time.
I hope so. I hope he lives. How many wounds does he have?
He has 10 total, so 4 left. All right, so 1, 2s, and 3s.
I needed to go first.
Oh, that's a lot of hits.
Wow.
So 4, 8, 10, 10 hits on a defense of 3. So that's 1 more.
Our defense at 3.
That's right.
That would have been 11.
The system is actually, once you know what the values are, it's actually really
Right.
Roll bad.
So basically because you were in that line.
Unfortunately, oh man. So that's exactly 4. Right, 4, and that would be
game.
That would be game. Good game. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
How did you like it?
I liked it. It plays fast, it's smooth, it's serious. It's good. It's the right size table for this size.
Yeah, this is a little smaller. This is like a demo table. Usually we play in a 4x4, but we have scenarios of 4x6 as well. And it's exactly because you bring your units throughout the game. Your entire army is not on the table at one time, so like you can play actually quite a few points on a 4x4 without a problem. So that's actually quite convenient.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'll do that again. That was a good game.
Thank you.
Hi guys, meet the Nibbles, who's gonna go down. She just decided not to go down my back, so we'll do this for her so she's comfy. Thanks for watching my video, and I appreciate it. Please hit the like button and share it if you know somebody who might be interested. And of course, there's always Twitter and the Facebook thingy, and soon I have a newsletter coming. That'll be down there or in a link below, and my kitty cat loves that idea. So anyway, there was one more thing. Oh yeah, subscribe. Be a part of my community, our community. Let's make it grow together. See you guys at a con somewhere, or a local store, or if I'm driving through the country, maybe a game club. I don't know, you're not going to go knock down my camera. Bye, guys.